Let's do a brainstorming exercise here.
Okay, give me just a
Sorry?
Okay, just a minute. I'm just writing down what you said. Okay.
Okay. I want you to brainstorm how Google can lower their server costs.
Okay, so the question is how Google can lower their server costs.
Correct.
What is a server cost? I mean, is it simply the costs? I would assume that it's simply the cost of having to maintain the server they use.
Yeah, it's basically the costs that are driven by using a server. So all the costs related to using, running, maintaining, buying a server, whatever it is.
Okay. Okay. May I have a moment to think about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. Okay, again, I'll just try it when we're speaking.
Okay.
So, okay, so my first impression, if I can say, when I see the question is that, okay, there's two ways to lower server costs.
Okay.
Either you outsource the server, the machines, so you give a contract to a company, or you still keep it inside your company and find a better way to work with it. So now in the case of Google, I would prioritize them keeping the servers at inside, not outsource the servers operation and everything, because it's their core business.
Okay.
So I would consider this as the first level of prioritization.
Okay.
So then, if you decide to internalize the servers, there's a first driver of lowering the costs. That would be to have more efficient servers. So the second level would be to have less servers in terms of numbers.
Okay.
And the third one would have to be to have more space to keep the servers.
Okay. So I understand the first one, less servers. I understand the second one, more productive servers. How does more space reduce server costs?
Because there would be, my understanding of IT here is quite limited, but from what I understand, if you keep all your servers in a smaller space, there might be a risk of
Okay, good. Continue.
So a fourth way to tackle and lower the server costs would be to have a maintenance contract on that.
Okay, let me stop you here, right? So you're very creative and I like that.
Okay.
I never heard anyone do this case the way you did it, which is numbers, you reduce the numbers, you make them more efficient, or you increase the space. Now, here's the problem you have.
Mm-hmm.
The first two are 100% correct. You have fewer servers and you make them more efficient, right?
Yeah.
But you face a couple of problems here. One is, when you're talking about increasing the space, that's part of efficiency.
Okay.
So you're double counting. They're not mutually exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
The other problem you face, and I think this will be a bigger problem, is most people, when they talk about efficiency, they don't consider cost into that. They think of efficiency as output, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to define efficiency as output over input costs.
Okay.
If you don't define it that way, I think you're going to have a lot of problems with some interviewers who are going to say you're wrong, not because you are wrong, but because they're going to think about efficiency as just output. But it's output value over input costs, right? Now, couple of things here. One is you're very creative, but you're very mutually exclusive, right?
Yeah.
You use an approach which is clever, but I feel that you need to explain it better. Just a couple of reminders. Any company in the world can only pursue, I would say, 5 types of business cases, right? 1, you increase revenue, right?
Okay.
That doesn't apply here, right?
Yeah.
2, you reduce costs. It applies here, right? 3, you avoid costs. It applies here, right?
Yeah.
4, you reduce capex. It applies here. 5, you avoid capex.
Okay.
So whenever you're thinking about numbers, always go back to that. So I think you were creative here, but I don't think you would have been able to see this through.
No.
It would have been far better, in my opinion, to either break down all of the potential costs, fixed and variable, for the server.
Yeah, okay.
And that would have been a far easier one, right? So very creative, but maybe you're going to face 2 problems. The creativity is that interviewer is not going to understand you, and that's through no fault of your own, I would say. The second one is you're going to struggle to get to the 2nd and 3rd level.
Yeah, right.
Now, you sound very sad in both of the cases we've done.
Really?
Yeah, you sound different.
I may be tired, that's all.
Maybe you're tired. I don't know. Maybe your favorite soccer team lost a football game. I don't know. But as an interviewer, I can read that, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, I don't expect you to be jumping around like you had sugar 1 hour before our call. And I don't expect you to be all energized during our session. But remember that we can see these things in an interview.
Okay, I'll try to be more.
Well, with me, you don't have to worry. But I think when you go into an interview, remember we can read these things. And while we expect you to be, have some issues, firms don't like sad people.
Yeah, understand.
No one wants to hire a sad person.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing the episode. Finally, I want you to remember that the only way to get access to our special offers, the only way to get our special pricing, and the only way to get samples of our content is to join the list on firmsconsulting.com. It's the only way also to get access to our unique advanced content that we make available to insiders. So if you want to get a sneak peek of things, test it out, see what's in there, this is the place to go. And finally, I want to thank you again for making us one of the largest podcast channels around the world for careers and for the 2 million downloads and counting.